Hey everyone, welcome to the Titanic Museum here in Belfast. I will be walking with you to the museum, and if you do need to read anything, just hit the pause button.
Quite a few, but still. Grandfather was a boiler, and this man was lucky. That was the man who came to find this lucky.
And that's all they're going to do with bigger still. They fly the British flag, James. They shall be constructed without crust. Three, I think they said. It's where they find the sort of money from. That's no part, James. Mr. Ismay has the backing of the distinguished American financier John Pierpont Moore through his shipping firm, the International Mercantile Marine Company. But I thought, what's the fastest Cuban solicitor? After the again, was the writing of Brest.
This is to show you how high Titanic really was from top to bottom. Really high. And they have a special ride at the museum too. Let's get on it.
Then my brothers after me. You could hear the noise from where we lived, but nothing prepared you for the size of the place. They put me to work on 401. That's what we called her. We knew she'd be the largest passenger ship in the world, but we didn't call her Titanic then. I was there from the beginning. I watched the ship race lay the keel blocks. They set big wooden blocks on the slipway to start with. Then the keel is built with it, like a backbone. And the frames attached to that, like a skeleton. Workshops everywhere. It took weeks to find your way around. There were workshops for every trade you ever heard of. Painters, sailmakers, coppersmiths, boiler makers, cabinet makers. I even learned a bit about French polishing of them. Harlowers is a fine place to work, but dangerous. Every ship cost a life, and there'd be lots of injuries besides. I was in the engine works for a while. Very well equipped it was. That's where we built the triple expansion engines. 2 of them, each as high as a 3-story house. I worked in the frame bending shop. You'd heat steel beams in the furnace, then hit them onto slabs of cast iron and hammer them curved. It was skilled work. You had to bend them more than you needed because the frame straightened out a little when it cooled. The shell plates that made up the hull weighed up to 4.5 tons. They were taller than the da. The plates were overlocked on the edges. Some were raised, one after another. We called it clincher. One of the foremen told me years ago, that's how you built steel ships. I worked as a heater boy. You had to heat the rivets on a wee plate. You pumped the bellows till the rivet was white hot. Then you get a hold of it with your tongs and throw it up to the catcher. And he put it in the hole in the plate for the hold her up. There were 2 of us on the other side of the plate to hold her up. We had to hammer the rivet so it filled the hole before it turned dull red. The double bottom. That's a wee space we call the tanks, made up of steel plates. The rest of the rivet squad all had to fit into that gap. One of the four men would check each rivet with a special hammer. If it made a ringing sound, we'd have to get back. You'd chase it out after work. I'd get scared working down in that double bottom. You only had candles for light. And the constant hammering against the shell plates. You could hear it all over Belfast. Some of those boys ended up stone deaf, so they did. We were paid 31 bob a week. The heater boy and catcher got 16 bob. But we all worked the same 54 hours. The upper deck was steel too, and part of the strength of the ship. There's no straight lines in a ship, and when you look down the weather deck, you can see the sheer of the hull, but stop for reflection at sea. The stern frame had to be strong enough to take the rudder turning in heavy seas. You'd have all these timbers and guy wires to steady the frame, and men scurrying around like ants underneath. When we came to launch day, I was torn between pride and fear. Stanley ways were coated in tallow, train oil and soft soap. So the ship would slide when they shifted her weight off the blocks. That was the most dangerous part. When the shipwrights were knocking away the last props, they were under compression, you see, and the sliding ways would be released by the hydraulic trigger.
At the Harlem Wood shipyard in Belfast, there was a 6,000-ton. It became known the world over as Titanic, the largest passenger liner in the world.
And I wasn't going to come on it. She said, I'm going whether you like it. That's what I wanted to come out. Did you like it? Do you like it?
So it was built right there. And Olympic was built right there too. Side by side.
Inspector Francis Carruthers. Then, at 8 p.m. that evening, he departed Belfast for Southampton. She was preceded by a considerable wait of expectation. At Southampton, the White Star Line had already constructed the massive deep-water ocean dock, covering almost 16 acres and dredged to a depth of 40 feet. England's premier passenger port was flourishing, with new shops, restaurants and businesses opening to service the growing passenger trade. And job opportunities on board ship and in the docks brought migrants from all over Britain and Ireland. Almost 400 of Titanic's crew lived in Southampton's northern district. A national coal strike had left several ships laid up in dock, and the prospect of a job on Titanic was a welcome relief for crewmen who managed to sign up. On April 5th, Titanic was dressed in her signal flags and pennants as a Good Friday tribute to the people of Southampton who had welcomed her. By April 10th, the ship had been fully provisioned, including 75,000 pounds of fresh meat, 40,000 eggs, 1,000 sweetbreads, and 8,000 cigars. At 7 a.m., Captain Edward John Smith came aboard the Titanic to prepare for the Board of Trade muster at 8. Around 9:30, the first passengers arrived on the boat train from London Waterloo. By late morning, all the passengers and crew were aboard, minus 2 firemen who were delayed in a public house and missed the departure. At noon on April 10th, bang on time and fully expecting to be in New York within a few days, the Titanic sounded her whistle and cast off her lines. A massive hull into the sumptuously appointed liner described by the White Star Line as a queen of the ocean. By March 1912,
I think this was one of the first class cabins. That's the bed.
Almost 400 of Titanic's crew lived in Southampton's northern district. A national coal strike had left several ships.
And this was the second class cabin on the Titanic. And this was all the plates and utensils used on the Titanic.
Starting with the full service, compose yourself, Butterworth. You don't want much to tell you from capital charge. Lane, have you collected today?
Lower away.
This was the tiny boat that the survivors used.
No, sir. They were all sitting, squatting down on the deck.
Oh, there's your laser right there. There's one of them. I'm gonna have to.
Our friend George is watching now. He says it's built in the 20s.
And this concludes our walkthrough at the Titanic Museum in Belfast. Highly recommend that you come over here. Please subscribe.